Welcome to the Zoom Test Kitchen, where the magic happens live. Every Friday we're on air, testing tech to thrive. From screen share to breakout rooms, we push Zoom to its max. So sit back, relax, and let's see what's in our tech hacks. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. We'll dive into the settings, explore every single tab. Make sure your mic is clear, your camera not a drab. We'll show you how to host like a pro, manage like a king. With Zoom Test Kitchen, you'll be zooming with a zing. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. Whether you're new to Zoom or an expert in disguise, we've got tips and tricks. We'll open up your eyes. From polls to quizzes, we test functionalities. Join us live, see what Zoom does with ease. So if your meetings lag, or you can't share your screen, or if your audio echoes like you're stuck in between, we've got solutions, we'll show you how it's done. Zoom Test Kitchen, where Zoom fun has begun. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. So tune in, don't miss out on this tech fest we lead. Every Friday, Zoom Test Kitchen, where you'll succeed. We'll make your Zoom meeting smooth, keep the tech in check. In the Zoom Test Kitchen, we've got your back, no wreck. So tune in, don't miss out on this tech fest we lead. Every Friday, Zoom Test Kitchen, where you'll succeed. We'll make your Zoom meeting smooth, keep the tech in check. In the Zoom Test Kitchen, we've got your back, no wreck. These lyrics capture the essence of what the Zoom Test Kitchen does, focusing on testing and teaching about Zoom functionalities in a fun, engaging way. We're zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. We've got your back, no wreck. We've got your back, no wreck. These lyrics capture the essence of what the Zoom Test Kitchen does, focusing on testing and teaching about Zoom functionalities in the fun, engaging way.
Well, hi, everyone. Welcome to the kitchen. I actually get to be here today. Wait, I have to turn my thing off. That original audio thinga-dinga, thinga-winga.
Dinga.
Let me do that. There we go. That should be a little better. I am so sorry. I have missed being here for the past 2 weeks. We had we had some construction we had to do in my building, about $400,000 worth. That was unexpected. And so we had to get it done in 2 weeks. So we ripped walls out, cabinets out, floors out, everything out, and somehow got it all back in 2 weeks. It was kind of amazing. We had people working over Christmas and New Year's, and I'm not proud of that, but we got the job done. And I'm here, and I'm happy to be here. Hi, Hasmuk, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you so much.
I love your questions. We will absolutely get to those. First things first. Mr. Mobley, how are you, sir?
I am fantastic. Long time no see.
Long time no see. I've missed you so much. Mike Latta, how are you doing, sir?
Doing good, sir. Welcome back, sir.
Anything exciting happening by you?
Anything exciting happen by me? It's warm. And
It's warm.
my definition of warm is, not Florida warm, but,
No,
dangerous warm would be the official answer.
but dangerous. What is dangerous warm?
Dangerous warm is that we are above zero for all our Celsius people, or above 32 Fahrenheit for our Fahrenheit people.
And that's dangerous? That sounds glorious.
If you're skating on ice and you go through the ice, it's not.
Well, yeah, if you're skating, well,
So that's
I
where
could've
the
told you
danger
that.
comes from when you're up there.
I didn't
You're-
realize
you're
that
my-
Canadians are in a constant state of skating on ice.
Do you
In the
that-
wintertime, yes. And Frank
Yes.
is smiling too because Frank doesn't live too far away from where we're talking about. And Pete and I were talking about this pre-starting the show.
Yeah.
The Mighty Canal, Frank, is what we're talking about in Ottawa. As
Yes,
Frank goes,
The world's
Yes.
longest skating rink.
That's right. Which
Really?
which I've skated on, Frank.
That's pretty cool. Speaking of Frank, hi, Frank.
Hello. I just want
How are you,
to
sir?
congratulate Mike for converting temperature into freedom units for our American friends.
Freedom units. Is that what you all call the Fahrenheit freedom units? I love that. That's great. Peter Sargent.
Oh, wait. America's bringing freedom to you whether you want it or not.
Yeah. We don't even want it at this point. Peter Sargent, how you doing?
Good. I enjoyed last night, by the way.
I did too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice.
By the
It was a
way,
good
one
conversation.
comment: HIPAA applies to everybody.
Well, legally,
Yeah, I used to have to maintain HIPAA systems for the Walt Disney Company. If you maintain employee health data, you have to be HIPAA compliant.
fair enough. There you go. All right. So, should we jump into Hasmuk's questions? Tell us about your event next Friday, Hasmuk.
Yeah, it's my where I started off with my production, the biannual refresher course for those who want to write the specialty exam. So it's over 3 days. And currently we have about 52 physicians registered for the course, 22 presenters over the 3 days. So from cardiologists, neurologists, nephrologists, dermatologists, hepatologists, and so it goes on and on. Yeah. So each one presents for an hour. And initially, they watched the individual lectures 2-3 weeks ahead of the live event. In the past, they came to the meeting to have conversations, discussions, questions. But now we give them what we call MCQ questions. And I use the polls version of Zoom. And I'm hoping to use Zoom Graphics Toolkit for that next week. I'm still testing that. And then obviously chat goes on at the beginning of the meeting, but then we turn it off during the live presentation. So that's where I am.
And okay, so the two questions we've got, dear Lord, that's a lot of skating. Okay, so the two questions that we've got in here, sorry, I got distracted by the picture. Need to know when my pay per attendee license expires, or does it renew automatically?
Mm-hmm.
Zoom renews everything automatically, doesn't it? I mean, you should get an email before.
yeah, it depends on your billing cycle, husband. And
Yeah,
it depends on, again, if you're dealing with a sales rep or if you're buying everything on the website yourself. So
In South
again,
Africa,
as
South Africa, we don't have such a person as a sales rep. Sorry. Bear in mind, one paid $100 for that pay per attendee at the
Yeah.
beginning.
Hmm.
So uh, I got two accounts on which I did that. So I'm just, as I explained to Mike, I'm anxious that that doesn't come up for renewal in the middle of my medical event. Then all my liminal apps go AWOL. So
Yeah.
I was trying to establish when is the renewal date, but I just can't find it anywhere in Zoom of when it expires. Or if
Can
it
you
does not show expire, does it renew automatically?
Yeah.
find the receipt of when you purchased it?
Oh God, David.
Because it would be a year from that.
Yeah.
Yes.
As I was mentioning to Hasma in Discord,
Yeah.
is that either you should be able to go to the license in part of the min section, and it should tell you where all your licenses are and when they expire.
Okay, so do you mind if I share my screen?
No,
I
go
Go
ahead.
for it,
was
please.
I was ready for this journey. There we go. So that is my account, and you can see Zoom
Oh, look at
webinars
that. Yeah.
plus paper attendee.
But there's no
And if
date on it.
you say manage, it says you've got that, but doesn't
Huh.
say anything. Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's
But are you
interesting.
paying? But it also implies you're paying monthly, which means until you cancel it, it just keeps,
Why do you say that?
because right below it says estimated totals monthly are 417.99.
uh,
Right below there. Keep going, keep going. Just down, 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 down,
oh, you
down.
mean this one? Yeah.
Yeah. That to me,
Yeah.
that implies you paying that implies. Now, are you? I don't know.
No,
But
so I have a monthly account for my workplace license,
What you know what?
which renews every month.
Wait,
But
don't go into admin Hasmuck.
yeah, okay.
Go back to
Bill,
your main here. Follow along. Go back into this is the wrong thing. Sorry.
So I go
Sign
back to
in.
home.
Yeah. We're gonna go
There's
back
home.
home
Yep. Okay.
and hold on a second. I just have to put my thingy in. And then
You're not screen sharing, Dave.
well, I am. I'm just not. I
Oh,
haven't.
well, you're not doing it
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
main
yeah.
screen share.
Okay. Then go up to your picture in the top right and click on plans and billing. Now scroll down. Oh, see,
It's the
look.
same.
Okay, so yours looks different. Click on the little arrow next to it. Wow. So yours looks different than mine because mine has a
You
service
see,
effective
yeah,
date.
this is what scared me. It says your pay per attendee plans have expired. You have the option to continue hosting events at a rate of 38 rands per attendee, or you can add more attendees. That's what really set me off.
I well, then I think you don't have any active plans,
I
and I
do
think it did expire.
because, well, I log into Liminal apps and it activates the license.
yeah, but I just got the note today that they're terminating that.
No. Remember, that's the license that you bought from Liminal itself,
Oh, right.
which is different to the paper attendee license attached to your hub.
Hazmat, can you go to
Mm.
account management and then billing?
Uh, you mean here?
I mean, down the left-hand side, you go to account management. I'm assuming you're the account holder.
I am. Yeah.
Okay, so go down to the account management that section. You can tell I've had dental work, can't you? And choose billing.
Here we go.
Now go to the first one.
Are you sharing still?
It's
Yeah,
exactly the
that's
same
what we
again.
just were. Yeah.
Okay, so your
It's-
menu is different to my menu.
Yeah, I agree. Mine is also because I've got a whole bunch of info here on my plans.
Yeah.
Does that mean
Hazmat-
there's a different menu between business and basic, standard, premium,
This is
pro?
No, I can vouch for Pro and for Canada, and it actually shows me when my expiry dates are.
Because the account management billing, I have current plans, pending plans, billing information, and invoice history as tabs in that section. That is nothing like what Hazmat has shown on his screen.
and this is a business account. There we go. Zoom Workplace Business. And this year is the monthly subscription for the Workplace Business account. But this one was a once-off $100. And then the scary part is what it said earlier. This part.
No, can you scroll down further? Can you scroll down further?
Sure.
No, on the tab side.
Oh, you mean yeah?
On the
this
left-hand
one,
side, yeah. Can you scroll down
Uh-huh.
further there? Right, that's it. Account management under the AI Studio one. That's the one you want. Account management
This-
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
okay.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Now choose billing in that section.
Do I see that?
Okay,
Don't
so I
see
have
billing. No billing.
Okay, your menu is different to mine.
Why can't South Africans be
Okay,
treated
so
like
let's
everybody
let's
else?
try something. Let's try something stupid. Let's hack it. So go up to the URL at the top.
Oh, the URL. Yeah.
Yeah, and whatever it is, just change it to /billing.
It says billing there. Here we go. USA
so .us/billing.
web.zoom/billing. It has /billing.
So your menu is definitely different to mine.
Wow.
I'll even share a screenshot of what my menu is down there.
Okay. All right. So the conflict I had was this message that I don't have active plans, which made me quite nervous for next week. On the other side, I have on this account, which it says it expired, but if it had expired, why am I still able to activate all my Zoom, Liminal apps licenses? So as soon as I log in with this credentials, because my hub is connected to the email that I use here, and as soon as I log in into those apps with that email, it switches from trial to pro. Okay, sounds like we've come to a dead end, this one. I may
Go for it,
I
Frank.
may need higher powers.
Yeah, Hazmat.
Mm.
The quick way of doing this locally that you would be able to control is, I'm assuming you used a credit card since you did this online.
Yes, I did.
Check back. I know this is the archaic way of doing, but check back in your credit card bills.
Okay. That's an interesting point. My credit card got hacked, so I changed my default billing credit card for the main workplace account, but I suspect that I bought my $100 paper attendee license with the older card that was hacked. I don't know if that helps.
It would, but at least if you're able to go back in your old records of the old credit card, you at least know the date that you bought it, and then you know
Sure,
that you
sure.
only have a year,
Okay.
right? Because it's only a year. The paper attendee from the time you buy it, it expires after a year.
Okay, then the question is, the implication is that it doesn't auto renew.
No, unless again you've set it up with your sales rep, which you're doing everything online. So as far as online is concerned, this is where you can get a bit of there is no renewal, right?
Okay.
Sorry, I disagree
Now-
with that. I think it auto renews. I think everything
So-
auto renews except paper attendee.
So here is
Thanks, John, for that.
if I go to the event Zoom URL, then I've got this part here, and it says paper attendee, right? But there's no other information I can glean from this URL. And maybe you can just walk me through how I did this a year ago of buying a paper user license. I'm happy to just purchase it now to make absolutely certain that I don't get into a problem on Friday.
So you want to purchase another license? Is that what you're saying?
I might as well, because then I'm secure.
So if you go back to regular Zoom,
Here we go.
right, and go up to plans and pricing, at the very top.
Mm-hmm. Oh, plans
No.
and pricing. Yeah.
At the top,
Here we
yeah.
go. Mm-hmm.
And then go down. Oh, maybe it's sorry. It's actually maybe it's at the top. Is it no? Go up to the top again. Where does it say? Webinars and events down the left hand side. Down.
Oh,
Down. There it is.
this
Nope,
webinars
there
and
it is, yep.
events.
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
So webinars.
I'm just gonna
plus
buy.
change-
Yeah.
Well, no, wait. Change the plan from annual subscription to pay per attendee.
Can I? Paper attendee. Yeah, here we go.
Now,
And how
unless you're
many No,
so if you're just using this,
for liminal.
Frank, do you want to jump in? Because Frank's had his hand up for a while.
I have a question that may lead to some kind of revelation, but I don't know. So I thought that pay-per-view or paper attendee expired two different ways. It could last a year, or it could expire after 100 people have used it. So you're not guaranteed a year. Everyone's saying, well, it lasts a year. It only lasts a year if you don't use the 100 licenses up in 2 weeks or a month or something, right?
Correct.
So, well, it just, because people kept saying it lasted for a year, I just wanted to make sure that, we were understanding that if you used up all the licenses in 3 weeks, then they last 3 weeks. Like it's,
But
Correct.
is that assuming, Frank, if they're using an event,
yeah,
actually running an event?
yeah.
And I don't think Cosmoth is running an event. I think he's
No,
running.
no.
Okay, I wasn't sure of that, so I
No,
just
no,
wanted
no,
to
no.
get that. The other thing I wanted to point out is Zoom has a ticket system just for billing, and they have billing experts that can help you with your billing questions. You can put in a
Okay.
billing ticket, and the billing team will get back to you and say, "We've looked at your account. We see what's happening."
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and breaking news from our infamous Andy C on YouTube. You are officially expired, sir. Andy said so.
am I? Oh, I'm officially expired.
Yeah. He says your PPA license has expired. After 1 year, the PPA expires and does not auto renew. There is a small grace period where the hub remains active with 0 attendees on PPA.
Bring the Undertaker.
That's probably so you have enough time to reinstate it, like to pay for it again, so you don't lose everything, right?
Okay.
That's
And then
probably
he
what
says,
the grace period's for.
yeah. And then it says, then it will deactivate. When it deactivates, you will not have access to the liminal apps anymore.
That's what I'm scared of. For my entire production is dependent on the liminal apps. So
Set a calendar reminder to renew every 350 days.
I will. So, folks, the thing that I need to purchase here is this one, or which one did we purchase initially?
So
50.
if
50
you're
is the minimum, right?
right, if you're just getting it to use the
Yeah,
liminal
yeah,
apps, then you
yeah.
want paper attendee 50.
Yeah.
What? Why did my price go up now? Yeah, that's correct. All right. So if I buy it, do I have to go through that process again with connecting it to my hub?
Yes, you just need to make sure that it is connected to your hub.
You will have to assign the new license for this one now has but 2, the account that's going to be using the liminal
Yeah.
apps.
Okay, so let me buy this quickly, so I don't expose my credit card details, and
Yeah.
then
So
I
no more,
shall come back. Yeah,
no more
is that
screen
okay?
sharing.
Yeah, you can just pause the share, Hazmat. We can't see anything.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay, then.
And I can confirm that there are different menus floating around for different types of accounts because I've got multiple accounts and they have different menus.
Yeah. Heaven forbid they have a consistent menu system.
Well, it's by country. It's it's.
I repeat, heaven forbid they have a consistent menuing system.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, the thing I find interesting is the system is not bright enough to tie your Webinar Plus system or billing to the rest of your billing. So, I mean, I purchased a second workplace business account this year, but Zoom automatically gave me a prorated for the part of 25 until it renews automatically. But it's now both of my workplace business accounts renew on the same day, as does my webinar license renews on the same day. But no, the workplace one or the events one renews a month earlier, or doesn't even renew. It expires a month earlier. So I just put it on my calendar to go fix that.
Okay, they got my money.
Now
So
you get to
walk me
assign
through-
license to users. Click.
So is that where we go?
Yeah, let Andy know he can fill up with petrol again.
Assign license to users. And that would be this account. So I've chosen the account that
So-
that
Right. It
I
looks like it's
normally
already
use.
connected. If you look under licenses, that's
Yeah.
already it's
That's
already
already
connected.
there. Am I
So now,
right? Yeah.
so now you need to go into the hub, into Zoom Events, and make sure the hub is there.
Okay, here we are. There's the hub.
So you should be good to go, and that's the same account, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So you should
Correct.
be good to go.
Whew. Thank you, Andy, if you're listening. more than anything else with because I'm using I'm hoping to use one. David helps me with Zoom tiles in my second part of my question. Zoom ISO and Zoom Graphics Toolkit. So
Yeah. And Andy wanted Hazmat to you to double check and make sure that it now doesn't say 0 attendees. It actually gives you 50.
you mean yeah? Okay, got you. In yeah, am I right?
Yeah, where before it actually was showing you 0, or
Uh-huh.
where it should have been showing you 0, should now have a 50 in there.
Plan management.
Yep.
That's where we were. And here.
There you
Ah,
go.
There you go.
there we go.
So put January 8th, 2027 in your calendar.
That's right.
Oh, it's on my forehead.
You know what's interesting though is that mine, I just looked. Mine did seem to. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't think I did anything, and I think it just re-upped. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, Andy officially says it does not, the PPA
Yeah,
does
no.
not auto renew.
Right.
Yeah.
And
That's
Andy
important.
would know.
That's very important. Thank you guys. Really, really appreciate it.
So, do you want to talk about the second piece of your puzzle?
If you don't mind.
Yeah. So, if I understood it correctly, you were wanting to do something like this, but I have to
Yes, correct.
change this to where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Uh-oh. Oh, it died.
Oh, let me do
Tiles
this,
keeps
David.
yeah, go ahead. Tiles keeps crashing on me because I'm on Tahoe.
There you go. You got tiles up now.
Yeah, no, I'm having to log in.
Oh,
Could you let me in, please?
There we
Thank
go.
you. Okay. So, right. So if you want to do something like this,
Mm-hmm.
is that what you had in mind? Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly. So basically, what you've created here is uh, an overlay, if you will, that
Yes.
you can now grab the URL to, put it into another system like Ecamm or Mimo or vMix or any of those, and then you can build a
Oh.
scene with two pieces. So I've got in this scene here, I've got two pieces going on. I've got the outline, which is, oh, sorry, I clicked the wrong thing. The outline, which is one layer, and then I've got the camera inside, which is the second layer.
yeah.
So basically, I've just built a scene with two different elements, a
Right.
camera on the inside and the tiles on the outside. And having the cutout over in tiles allows me to define what I want the size to look like, and then I can
Yeah,
put something in the middle there.
but
And
what you
by,
get, sorry, what you get there in the middle, you said grab a URL. Where do I grab that?
Right. So if you go into tiles, which I think I can do.
tiles doesn't
Well, I can bring
tiles
up
doesn't
mine.
use the URL. Tiles uses either NDI,
There we
NDI
go.
out, right? Right.
David, you can see my screen there.
Oh, yeah, it's NDI. Yeah. So go up to outputs at the very top.
Mm-hmm.
And then see where it says output device, video output type device. Change that from display to NDI. Sorry, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Not URL, NDI.
Oops.
Yeah, okay. Once you do that, I'll go through that
Yeah.
Right. Well,
exercise.
go ahead and do it now. So okay, now it's
Oh,
gone.
okay.
So now you open up your other app on either Mimo or Ecamm, and you bring in that camera feed as a source.
So it's an NDI source that comes into that space.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. So I have the way I have it set up is I have two cameras here. Camera A is my middle camera,
Mm-hmm.
and camera B is this NDI source.
Yeah.
But
Now, there is another approach, Hasmuth, by the way, because I know you use a 2ME and you like to do hardware.
yes, yes, yes.
Is I output my copy of tiles. I can output my copy of tiles through a Ultra Studio monitor
Uh-huh.
and input that straight into the 2ME as an input. And then now it becomes, you could either use it as an overlay in a super source or whatever, and you can define, you can key in another display on top of it. It works the same. It's the same way. It's the hardware. It's the hardware approach to what David's doing. That's all it is. But I know you and I've had lots of conversations about your use of the hardware.
Yeah, yeah. So, Peter, are you saying that with the hardware approach, we don't need to go the NDI route?
That's right. You're one of the choices there. In
Mm,
my case, I will choose the Ultra Studio monitor as the chosen output,
yeah.
and that sends it straight to the thing. Now, you weren't here last week, but Mike will attest to the fact I was showing off using tiles and NDI and Zoom ISO to do some interesting things with who was the active speaker versus who was the versus, if you will, the panel, right?
Mm.
But but you have your choice. Um, David is obviously using a second screen,
Understand.
right? He's using, because you were using the screen out function of tiles, right?
I have it on a completely different computer.
Right. Well, so do I, but I'm just saying
Yeah, and I'm using NDI out.
you're using NDI out.
Yep.
I do that sometimes.
Down.
What was that? But sometimes I also use the Ultra Studio monitor out, depending on what I'm trying to do.
S- So, so Peter, I mean, I'll be running tiles also on a separate Mac Mini,
Right.
right? And I'll set up my tiles the way I want it.
Mm-hmm.
And then my output needs to go somewhere.
Well, that's the key is if you have, like I do, I have the Ultra Studio monitor, which is a Thunderbolt device that plugs into the back of my Mac Mini,
Uh-huh.
gives me SDI out,
Yep.
right? But
Okay.
it's not a monitor, despite its name, it's not a
Okay.
monitor. It doesn't appear to Mac OS as a monitor. It's an output device. That gives me an SDI signal straight to that I can then capture on one
Put
of the
it
inputs on my Mac on my ATEM.
to, yeah. So what I would do is with this Mac Mini on which tiles is running,
Mm-hmm.
I would probably use a converter HDMI to SDI and put that SDI into the ATEM.
But now there's the catch. Now you're
Mm.
telling it. You would say it's a display. There are different choices over there. Unfortunately, I can't show it to you because it's actually saying it, but the choices on gallery output device are none, display, NDI, or Blackmagic.
Yep.
Those are your choices.
Yep. Yep.
You choose if you put it out through a converter
Mhm.
coming out of the HDMI connection, that says it's a display. That says it's a display. If it's going through if it's going through the Blackmagic Ultra Studio monitor, that's an entirely different solution.
Yeah. So Hasmith, basically the Mac Mini has tiles. So think of the Mac Mini is no different than a camera. You've got to plug
Right.
that camera into the
Right.
ATEM, right? So the Mac Mini now needs to plug into the ATEM. So
Right.
now it's going to be it's going to be some sort of capture card, which is
Mhm.
hopefully an output card. In this case, Pete's right. So again, when you're in tiles, you use display, but that means that the HDMI now coming out of the Mac is dedicated now to tiles.
Correct.
Okay. So
Correct.
when you bring it in your ATEM, now you can do anything with it you want,
Yeah. So
right? So, mhm.
that Mac Mini where Tiles is running could have it'll be, if I take a HDMI out of that Mac Mini, it will then be an extended display, which is actually then going into the 2ME.
Right.
Correct.
Yep.
So
Right.
as an example, I just sent from my Mac Mini running tiles through my Ultra Studio monitor into my 2ME, and I selected that as my camera. That's why it
Right.
looks so.
Got you.
That's
Now that part I think I'm skirting okay, but now to bring in that secondary part, the overlay,
but that's
to punch into the hole.
that's just normal keyers or super sources. You can key over it
Ah, okay.
because when you set up when you say tell it to use the cutout, what is it? Is it called a cutout? I don't remember the exact term.
Yeah. David,
The
is
hole.
it called cutout? Is that I
No,
think
it's
that was
got
the
a
term.
hole.
The
It
whole
is.
yeah.
It's a hole.
So
Hole punch. Hole punch.
hole punch. That's it.
Mm.
But that space is empty when it comes to if you turn it on. You have to remember to turn it on in the gallery. it comes out as an empty slot. And
Yeah.
if you set the background to transparent, which is one of your choices, right? Then whatever you want to, then you just key over.
So okay, so your whatever you want to put in that hole needs to be on your overlay the correct size
Yeah.
to overlay over the
Yeah.
tiles that came from the extended window.
Yeah, and that was
Right.
So
Okay.
I'll add to this, Heswick, that it's a little tricky. So I'm sorry, I was futzing so I could actually show this to you. So it's a little tricky getting the sizing right. I mean, you
Right.
kind of have to play. You know, you have to play with
I know.
the margins and stuff. It's a little tricky, but
Yeah.
yes, I mean, essentially, you just and it's further complicated by the fact that you can't these camera sources underneath here are still there, you just can't see them, and so you're going to have people hiding underneath your cutout,
Right.
that's one of the I don't know
your
if
hole
you
punch
said
rather.
it. I don't know if you said it to Andy. That's one of my. If you
Yes.
turn on the cutout, please don't
Yes.
put anybody there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
David, a quick one to resize. Have you found that the only way is to change the numerals? There's no easy way, am I right?
To resize.
To resize that cutout, you have to change
Yes,
the
you just
X
change
and
it.
Y.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yep,
Yeah.
you just change. But the good news is it doesn't have to be exact. It just has to
No.
touch a camera.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't, this one isn't, if I were to do it like this now, those will pop back in as long as
Right.
it's touching the space. So it
Yes.
doesn't have to be exact.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
right.
And Hasmuk too, just as an added feature, if you are doing this too, if you're bringing the tiles into the ATEM already, then of course it's its own input. So you could, with the 2ME, actually output that to local projectors if you're doing an
Oh yeah.
event.
Oh yeah.
Then you
Oh yeah.
too, right? So
that's-
once you bring it
that's
into the
plan.
ATEM,
Yeah.
you can do anything with it you want. Right.
Yeah. I'll use one of my outputs to send it to a big TV in the room. Yeah, got it. Thank you very much, guys.
It's fun. What's funny, Hasmuk, is that what you're describing, sending it to I mean, that's what Tiles was intended for. It
I
was
know,
not intended for the silly stuff that I play around with it for, which is, recreating the Felipe
The
experience.
It came about with this mobile operator. I had two folks fly in from Johannesburg to be in the studio, and they kept on asking, so how many participants do we have? How many participants do we have? So then I got with Simon Ray, I got this little bot that displays all the participants as they join the meeting. So as they join, the number keeps going up. But I also put a TV in the room so that they can see the actual participants joining. So what I'm hoping to do is before the actual presentation and lecture commences, is to have fun with Zoom tiles and Zoom graphics toolkit so that they can start chatting and create some kind of engagement, excitement before we go.
Yeah. Lovely.
Thank you, guys. That instills a level of confidence that I didn't have before Zoom Test Kitchen.
Nice. Ba-dum. Did Ian come join us?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I'm not familiar with Ian, so I wasn't 100%
Okay.
sure if I should let him in or not.
I
But
believe
Ian, I'm
he was.
sorry. But yeah, do check us out on Discord and then get familiar with everybody in our Discord, and then we'll be able
Yeah.
to
Come say
let you
hi.
in next time.
Absolutely. We're only strict because we've been bombed before, and we don't want to. Yeah. Okay. By the way, this is probably a mistake to say out loud, but when I purchased my Zoom license like 100 years ago, I got it through. There was some coupon that I had, like a 50% off coupon.
TechSoup.
I've had that. Like that continues. That never goes away.
You're supposed to be a nonprofit to use TechSoup, though.
I am a nonprofit.
There you go.
Yeah. But if anyone has, I'm just saying those coupons are.
Did you have to prove you were a nonprofit?
I mean, I sent in my certificate of nonprofit status. I don't know. I think I did.
Could I just print one of those myself?
No, I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe you could. With Canva, you could just make yourself a nice little certificate.
They may check the tax number.
They may indeed.
Do you think they'd bother?
That's another good point.
Mr. Paskin, you're getting a lot of laughing coming from the YouTube after that comment.
Why? What did I do?
Oh, just because of the fact of, can anybody send that in and all of a sudden get 50% off?
I don't know. Maybe they can.
I can say that Zoom has quietly announced that, at least for my segment, prices growing up substantially this summer. And I'm wondering if that will happen to individual licenses as well.
Is that an enterprise or EDU? When you say your segment?
I think it's enterprise.
Wow. Going up significantly, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what that's about. I wonder if that's just natural growth, or if that has to do with maybe some of the AI they've been pumping into
I'm sure
everything.
AI is costing them a lot, but I also think in a lot of vendor situations you get lock-in because you're so committed and tied into the ecosystem that companies can look at you and go, you can't really get away from us now. You're captured. I don't know what, I'm speculating. I have no idea what their internal reasoning is, but.
Frank, was there a percentage that they were throwing at you?
I'm not going to get into that, but
okay.
But there's a lot of rumors about it in the in places. Different organizations I talk to are all talking about it. Backroom chatter, right? So there's a lot of places talking about leaving Zoom because the prices are going up too much that a lot of organizations don't feel they can absorb the price increases.
It's when we all signed up for this little ride, it was our video conferencing solution. Mm-hmm. And Zoom has since attempted to become or has chosen to become our our video conferencing solution, our phone solution, our scheduling solution, I'm just looking down at the pricing page, our doc solution, our whiteboard solution, our clips, our work Vivo solution. I mean, so they've been hacking all this stuff in that we may not have signed up for, and now they
Maybe I don't know.
perhaps appropriately are saying
They're
pony up.
They're the ones who made that choice. But I also wonder if it has anything to
Right.
do with the $150 million class action lawsuit they've started paying out.
Ah, what was that about?
During COVID, I don't want to get sued, so I'm just going to say I sort of remember it this way. It may not be accurate. Something about privacy and security. Zoom may have made
Oh,
assertions
right.
that weren't
The
completely, fully
Yeah.
true or accurate or something to that effect. I'm not going to say that's the actual thing that happened, but something like that is what I sort of remember, but it may be something else. But
So there's a securities lawsuit that was settled impacting investors who bought stock between April 19 and April 2020 with a deadline of September
no,
25.
this was for regular customers who Zoom
In
advertised that their tool
2021,
worked a certain
sharing
way.
user data, misrepresenting encryption, which led to payouts for eligible users who
Yeah, I
filed
think
claims
that
by
I
the
think
March
that's the one.
2020. Yeah.
I think I keep seeing people online talking about the payments have started rolling out or something. I never
Oh,
tried to file anything, but I mean,
no, neither did I. Because it's usually you get 16 cents.
the lawyers usually get it all anyways.
Yeah, it's hardly worth the stamp.
But I mean, it's good for corporations to get punished when they do silly things.
Right.
Checks and balances, right?
Mr. Paskin, we may have some breaking news too for you.
You need a ticker tape across the bottom,
That is correct.
or a lower third at least.
Wait, hold on.
Hold on. Oh,
You need
It's
Z
close.
News. You need Z News. You got to modify
Yeah.
that.
yeah, I was gonna say there has to
Or
be
ZK
a-
News.
Yeah, you have to replace the
ZTK
logo
news.
at the top right, and then we're perfectly fine.
Look, it's from another gig, okay?
Yeah, but you've got plenty of spare time. You're a man of leisure. Just knock that out in the next week.
Canva 101.
After Effects 101.
That's it. Yeah.
Or
So
motion.
the official answer is, and Mr. Drinkwater did confirm it with me in the back channel here, is that the Zoom community forum as of today is currently
Oh yeah.
read only.
Yeah, it's locked.
It's currently what?
Locked.
Read only.
What happened?
They're moving to a different platform, so
Oh,
they're transitioning to a different one. It'll come back, just it'll be different.
start a discussion.
Hopefully better.
Oh, yeah.
It was a little clunky, the platform they were on.
Boy, the fact that it's locked is clunky also.
Well, you can still read,
it-
but they need
No, you
transition
can.
time. It's hard to take a
So-
live server down gracefully.
Yeah. So it says here, effective January 9th, 2026 through January 22nd, 2026, the Zoom community is currently in read-only mode with login disabled to deliver you a new and improved community experience.
I'm sort of
Okay.
surprised they couldn't like bring up the other service and then roll them over in like a day or something. Like maybe, I don't know. I don't know the back end details for this platform, but maybe they couldn't do the transfer of data while the service was in effect. But to me, that doesn't seem like it should be such a big hurdle. I don't know why they couldn't transfer the data, keep the A server up, and then bring B server up in a more timely fashion. But who knows?
Then you
So
have
I have a dumb question, and this is probably a John question, and forgive my ignorance on this, but when a company like Zoom hosts a forum like this, are they building their own bespoke
No.
system, or are they using someone else's backend?
Now this
They
is
are
a,
using somebody else's backend, David.
now they're
And I
using-
know more about this than I'm allowed to say.
well, it's easy. If you scroll to the bottom of Zoom, if you click around enough at the bottom of Zoom, you'll see what platform it is, and I know what platform they're going to. I'm not sure if we're allowed to say that yet, but
Yeah, I'm not going
Okay.
to say what it is either, but yeah,
No.
they had a platform. They did customize it to a degree,
Oh, it says powered by Koros.
but
That-
that
that's right,
platform,
KHOROS.
yeah, they're now leaving that platform and they're moving to another platform, which they will again be able to customize, but to a different degree. So some of us in the community are expecting a slightly less good experience because they'll have to start with the basic, the standard config of this new platform, and then they're hoping to work with the platform manager to develop it further. I don't think I'm giving you any secrets to say that I have heard that there are quite a few other companies that are or were, depending on their dates, using the platform that Zoom is using as of now, and are moving to the same platform that Zoom are moving to. That's in the press, so I can quite openly say that. But there are a few large companies that have decided that this platform is not working as well that they would like, and they're all moving over to a different platform.
Yeah.
In in May of 2025, Koros was acquired by Ignite Tech. I have no idea if that's just not related at all or connected in some way, but and that's because Ignite Tech is a leader in AI innovation. It says here for enterprise software. Well, that's a blow to Koros. Not that I know anything about them or have any allegiance to them.
Oops, somebody's at CES.
Oh, are we
And we're
live at
walking.
CES?
We're
John
walking.
Adelson, ladies and gentlemen, it's a new breaking news story. We are live at CES with John Adelson walking up the stairs.
Could be a mall. Could
We
be
will
a
get or a
museum.
hotel. We will give
Could be
you a
anything.
blow by blow as he goes to Starbucks
Nice floor.
and gets his mocha latte.
It's the last day of CS, so I've actually left Eureka Park. Is my audio acceptable or not?
Your audio is perfect.
Yeah, unfortunately I tried to call in from the actual floor of the convention, and the internet was a disaster there. But it's been a fun week here at Infocom. You can see all the people having fun here. You know, with the stars from Wicked.
Oh, now wait a second.
And
The Infocom, not CES. My apologies.
I'm at CS.
Wait, so Infocom is part of CES?
Did I say Infocom? I'm dyslexic. No, this is CES.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know who the people in the Wicked costumes were. Sorry about that. I dropped the package. Anyway, it was a good. Let me switch back to you guys. Not that I'm that good looking. That was an interesting show.
What impressed you? What'd you see that you liked?
Well, everything's AI. I can't say there's any one thing I can say that I like particularly. What was interesting, those of you who've gone to NAB or CS know the big Sony booth that takes up that far corner of the central hall. It was only half the size and without televisions. They were selling the Sony car. Almost all the screen people had their own separate rooms. Amazon has some interesting stuff, but it's a lot of AI. And I saw an interesting media production tool, which was designed particularly for K-pop with a 8K camera. And then they would track each individual dancer and then connect it to the choreography and the dancing movements and face recognition for the dancers that they could decide who they want to focus on. And they had an 8K video camera. So I thought it was interesting to hear the Consumer Electronics Show. They're talking about an 8K video camera doing high-end video productions.
And lots
So
of
am I still
robots, I
showing up with
presume,
that?
also.
Oh, lots of robots and a lot of exoskeletons. So if you're the gray-haired guy like me and worry about going up and downstairs, I'm sure in a few years there'll be a set of things I can attach to my legs and it'll keep me. I'm trying to. The Intel presentation was interesting. A lot of things are available. This Bob Raskin, who did the Creator Lab, had a lot of stuff in the Creator Lab. Road is coming out. I guess it's public. I'm not sure. Hold on, I'm going to lose power. Road, okay, you know, the Road came out with the S controller. The Road now has those audio mixers that have the touchpad for sounds. They came out with a control box that lets those touchpads that are on their audio mixers do video switching.
Really? Are you not talking about the Rode the Rode video Rodecaster
One
video?
second, guys.
Rode S.
So go ahead,
Let's
guys.
see.
Sorry about that.
Are you talking about the Rodecaster Video S?
Okay, the Rodecaster Video S is their new product.
But that's a whole video switcher in and of itself.
Right, that's a whole video switcher. Now, there's some Rode audio mixers, the Rode Pro and the Rode Pro 2.
Rodecaster
which
Pro
are
2,
audio
the
mixers.
Rodecaster Duo. Right.
Yeah, and they have the level bars, and then they had what were the pads for playing sound effects.
Right. I have one right next to me.
Okay, well, you can get this new device that Rode is creating, and it essentially turns those pads into video control. So it could be camera switching, special effects. So if you look at the S, and it's just two rows of pads that you punch to call things up. Imagine all that video production functioning added to the pads of your mixer that they have.
Oh, I haven't heard about that. Very interesting.
Yeah, and that's why I say I don't know how public it's at the creator space at CES. They had a Rode booth there. NAB, they're calling it the Creator Lab, and there'll be a bunch of stuff coming out at NAB. So that's coming out.
There is I don't know if you all saw this, but the Galleon 100 SD keyboard is coming out from Corsair, and it's a keyboard with a Stream Deck built in on the side.
Yes,
And it
yes.
I think looks really fancy schmancy.
And really, really expensive.
Yes, like $350, I think, right? It was
500 Canadian.
Yeah. Yeah, very expensive, but I was really close to just buying it until I saw the price.
Well, right now, if you want to do that, you can get the Stream Deck pad and a little plexiglass and just slip a keyboard and put it right next to it.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. So basically what they did on the actual keyboard, for everybody that hasn't seen it visually, is basically where you have your numpad normally, the number pad, is now the Stream Deck.
Oh, wait, I didn't notice that. There's no number pad. I need a number pad, so this won't work for me.
Well, what they said is that when you want it to be a number pad, it'll be a number pad. And then when you don't want it to be that, you just have to use the dials at the top, and all of a sudden it'll start changing into Stream Deck mode.
Gotcha. Yeah, so there it is.
Probably the I think it's even EVEN Realities. Did somebody try to pull that up? There are a lot of VR glasses here, and you could buy VR glasses that are just the hardware with no software that OEMs are trying to get people to pick up. And then there were a lot of the virtual reality glasses, but the EVEN. So can somebody share the screen?
What? Tell me what it is again.
Got it in chat,
Mike had
Dave.
it here.
It's in chat, Dave. I put it there already. It's the Canadian website, but it's there.
I just want to make sure we're getting to the,
Oh.
I'm talking to the same thing.
Reality.
That should be a very low weight VR glasses.
Yeah, they look
Is
like
that
they look
what the-
literally like eyeglasses.
Holy moly, the G2?
Yeah, so
Look
this,
at that.
this probably was the most impressive thing I saw. The glasses are lighter than some of my other glasses that I've got that had nothing in them. So it's extremely.
Wow, look at that.
Just lemonade? Yeah. Yeah, so they're very lightweight. Another thing that's really great is that you can put any prescription lens in it. And for those of us who grew up with green CRT tubes,
Mhm.
you will feel right at home.
Oh, it's the green screen is back.
Yeah, the green. So, but the Meta, some people are trying to use the Meta glasses for teleprompting, and it just has a lot of challenges because they were designed as entertainment glasses, lower resolution, but quickly. These were the most incredible glasses. And one of the apps they have is teleprompters, but the other, you essentially they have an open API. You could be getting all sorts of cues showing up just as little green text lines on your glasses, and they had a very long line there with people trying them on because somewhere in there it should say what the weight is. Is it like 30 ounces? See if you can find what their claim to fame is.
And there's a ring. Wow, that's how you control
What?
it. You wear there's a ring, the R1.
Oh yeah.
Tap scroll control.
Yeah. So actually, this kid named Brendan and I were trying him on, and they gave us a script to read, and you put the ring on your finger, and you just use your thumb across the ring to control the speed and the direction of the teleprompter. And because they're such a small, lightweight glasses, if you've seen anybody with the Ray-Bans and they're looking at a screen, you see the big, heavy frame and the eyeballs on either side. If you look at this on a screen, you don't get the sense that you're looking at somebody who is wearing VR glasses.
How do I
So,
look?
Dave, what did you just put on?
No, so I'm doing this through the website where you can try it on yourself.
Oh,
But
okay. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, I can't really see though because I took my own glasses off. I mean, these don't look much worse than my own glasses.
Yeah, I was gonna say they look.
Look at that.
They're definitely, if you didn't tell me they were electronic glasses, I would have confused them.
These are beautiful. Wow, that's wild.
And what's the cost?
And actually, I connected them with Robin Raskin, who does the Creator Lab at NAB. And I think they're going to try to go there and show it. Because I can imagine a lot of creators might enjoy this.
That's wild. That's great.
I'm trying to think what else I saw.
And price, John? What's the price?
Oh, okay. So the price is, I think, about $700 for the glasses and a couple $100 for putting in the custom lenses. And as small as they are, the battery life was amazing. Again, it probably says on there how long it will run.
2-day battery, it says. Wow.
Sorry, guys, I'm looking in my ear because it's noisy in the bar here.
Very cool.
Trying to, what else I saw? What's that?
Oh yeah. Okay.
So any other questions
Uh,
from Las Vegas?
599 is the G2B. What's the difference? Oh, it's just shape.
Yeah, it's shaped. Okay, so the
So
599, so I guess it's 700 when you get the your prescription lens and stuff. Not a bad
Right. So
price.
non-prescription is free. Single vision is an additional 159.
159 if you have a simple prescription. If you're
Right.
gray-haired guy with a prism, it costs more.
Or even if you
Lens
just have progressive
thickness.
lenses, right? Right, John?
What was that?
Progressive lenses.
I don't know. I didn't ask him that. But my question was prisms that I need, but
Yeah.
they do essentially. You send them their prescription, and then they make them and put it into the glasses, and so their glass is the front screen, and your lens falls behind it. But I was amazed that you really don't get a sense that people are looking through anything other than a normal set of glasses.
John, you would get it for the teleprompt. That's the thing that you like about it.
Well, if you think about my mad
No,
plans for 3 screens, it's going to be cheaper to get a set of glasses, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you go
Yeah,
multi-camera,
and
then you need
again,
multi-teleprompters, then it gets a lot easier to argue to have a set of glasses to do it, doesn't it, John?
Well, doesn't
yeah,
it
well,
depend?
so yeah, I mean, for them, they were having all sorts of heads-up displays. So it could be warnings, it could be notes. I'm not a big teleprompter fan myself, and with the state parks, we haven't had been using teleprompters because you have to really work at getting good at being natural on a teleprompter. But having an outline and keeping track of time and having an indication that you have a question. So imagine with our current question tool that we're using in the office hours environment, that your question manager could pop up the question or send a note to somebody. And because again, it's an open API that they have. So just think of any message that you could get from an API that you'd want to get in front of the eyes of somebody when they're looking at somebody and you don't want them to know. It's like having the IFB, when somebody, a director or somebody, you're in the earphone and you say, hey, get ready for the next spot, or we're doing that. People who do that, you have to be really good at it. When you hear something different in your ear, you'll see your reaction in people. So hopefully this would be less than a reaction because it's just a little note that pops up in front of you. Well, gentlemen, you're between me and lunch.
Enjoy. Go eat lunch.
I-
Thanks for the on-the-ground reporting.
I tried to be on the ground and show you some of these booths, and I could not get decent Wi-Fi.
I
here.
can't imagine why
Sorry.
not.
Can't imagine why not. Anyway, everyone have a great weekend, and I'm sure there'll be lots of stuff. This company and one other company, I'm putting in contact with Bill Davis and the team that does the extra show, because I think they'd be interesting guests to talk to.
I agree. That'd be
Okay,
really
take
cool.
care, guys.
See you later. Have a good one. Well, there you go. Live from the floor at CES. Very exciting. Back to Zoom land. Back to reality in Zoom land. So we were talking before just about the community forum. John, I'm curious, what is working and what isn't working with the current just according to you, with the current platform, and what are you hoping to see in the new one?
I can't answer that because it's going backwards to start with. So Um, I I get the feeling that there is an issue with the company that's supplying the existing product, because you don't get a group of large corporates all changing ship at the same time unless there's a particular issue, or there's
So
a
you don't
particular
think it's a
feature, or there's a particular thing that this new company is bringing which the old company can't support. There must be a reasonably good business decision, because I know from what's going on in the background that although the forum has been frozen as of today, the guys who run the forum have been working on this project and learning how to do the migration, and they've been doing that since before Christmas.
I'm sure. No, I wasn't asking for any secret
But
background.
I think they feel that I think they feel that long term they will have a better feature set on the new platform. I think that's probably the best description I can give of it.
Is there as an active one of the most active users and contributors, is there a particular feature that you think would be like super beneficial that we don't currently have?
Not at the moment, because they've been quite tight-lipped on what they're doing, because they've just got
No, I'm
so
not
much
talking
to
about
do.
them. I'm not just asking you your opinion.
I feel that I'm going backwards, because I will be going backwards to start with.
What do you mean?
Well, there are certain things that community champions can do above and beyond a normal user to help administer and manage the whole site. And
Right.
when they flip over to the basic version, there will be no acknowledgement of community champions. So we'll have
Gotcha.
the same features as a normal user. So we won't be able to prioritize and highlight and do all the other little admin things we do to support the community leads.
I understand.
So it's going to be a step backwards for us to start with, but they are confident that they can add more features and build this out to a better level long term. But it is unfortunately a one step, 3 step forwards, 1 step backwards type situation to get it going.
Gotcha.
If you saw the stats that I see, all I can say is it's a horrendously large application of all the data, of all these questions coming in and being answered. And the fact that they are now trying to drag all the data across to a new system is brilliant, because we're keeping the history. But the only way to do that is, unfortunately, as you say, they can't find an easy way to keep it going while they're working on it. So all they can do, I expect the databases structures are completely different. There'll be issues like that. So they're having to freeze the system as it is now, and then they will be dragging all the data across. And we hope that there'll be a better system. Well, I'm pretty sure there'll be a better. They wouldn't go to all this trouble. I mean, it's a horrendous amount of trouble. They'd be working on it for 2 months at least. So they would never be going through all this trouble if they didn't think there was a better system at the other end.
Yeah.
But yeah, we haven't got any. All we've done is throw ideas about what we want, what we would like, and they've listened to that. But yeah, that's not going to happen from day one, unfortunately. So it's going to be harder work for us all as community champions to support everybody, because we'll be running at a lower level of prioritization for what we can do on the site as well. But I'm sure it will get on very well. The thing that really frightens me about the community forum, and I'm pretty sure I can give this away because I'm pretty sure it's been in corporate speak now and again, but the average response time of the site is about 30 hours. Now, if you think that this is a 24-hour site running worldwide, to get an average response time around 30 hours is pretty amazing, because some of the questions are impossible to answer. Some of the questions they ask, we don't have the ability. They might ask something about their use, how they're using the Zoom account themselves. And it might be exactly like Hazmat's comment. It could be, now, as a community champion and all the other community champions, we don't have access to the back system of Zoom. So we can't go in and say, oh, look, your account has expired or anything like that. All we can do is give advice. So to have that system running and still have response time of 30 hours, I think that's very good and very dedicated. And there is somebody else in this forum who tends to beat me for a better service than I can give. So I'm always trying to keep up with him. You can guess who that is. And I did note that he's the top guy for the last few weeks. So he'll be historically frozen in time as the best guy for community champion answers.
as we say goodbye to one
As we
version
say
1.0.
goodbye, I
Yeah.
can confirm that Ray Harwood, glory be to the guy, is the top of the weekly leaderboard. I should have thought about that and sneaked in and tried to pip him. Although I am number 3 for the last 30 days, so I'm not too far away.
And who's number 2? Is it Frank?
No, it's not Frank. But Frank's probably had other issues like Christmas.
And I'm number new. Thank you.
Your number new?
New. As in I don't rank it.
Okay, guys, I'll be listening to you in
And
bed.
just
Thank
one
you
last
very-
comment.
Wait a second. Hasmuck, thank you, sir.
Have a great
Thank
evening.
you. And thank you very much for your help. I really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Anytime, Hasma.
Breaking news, Ray Harwood is the top accepted solutions author in the community for all time on the old forum. That can never be undone.
Very exciting. Ray, congratulations. That's fantastic. Muddy, where are you? What a beautiful setting.
I was out and about over at a client studio looking to measuring the space to give them a quote to build out a new production studio in their space. And so I looked at my watch and saw the kitchen was on, so found a little spot to pull over and participate because I have love to get some wisdom from the group around tiles for Zoom. But I don't know if I'm coming in the middle of a conversation, if this is a good time to ask or not.
No, go for it. We did a bunch of tile stuff earlier also. Go for it.
So my question is really, well, I have a simple question, which is there a maximum number of people in a meeting? I've used tiles, and in big meetings on this was on an M1 Mac, it was freezing up, but I just bought my first Mac Studio, and my thought is that should have no trouble. And I only want to display about 40 or 50 pictures, videos, maybe even less. But the meeting may have 600 people in it. And so, I think that's going to be fine on an M4 Mac Studio. I'm not too worried about that. More importantly, I want to think through an efficient way. I'm going to be pulling the video feeds from one meeting, an audience meeting, creating the tiles, and then sending that video feed into another meeting, into the speaker stage, so the speaker can see the audience in a more dynamic way. And so output from Zoom tiles, got NDI, HDMI. My thought is I would send it out via NDI, catch it as NDI on the same machine, like an OBS, and then use OBS virtual camera to join to the new meeting and Bob's your uncle. But I don't know. I haven't done a lot with sending NDI and catching it on the same machine, and if that's an issue.
Forgive me for being ignorant, but when you're on the same machine, isn't it something called Siphon that you use instead of NDI?
Well, except
There is something called, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, except Siphon is not available to tiles.
I think Siphon is what
Good
I would
point.
use if I were sending it to like a deck link.
No, you don't even have to do that. Tiles will talk. Right now, that picture I'm showing right now of me in the middle of a tiles, that's the tiles machine talking through an Ultra Studio monitor, aka a deck link device, going to my 2ME, super sourcing in my main camera.
Okay.
So
you're coming out of the tiles machine to a deck link and then into an ATEM
Right.
and back in. Okay. I can understand that workflow. I'm curious if there's a workflow where I can do this on the same machine without, because what I want to do, I'll be producing the event on one machine and I want to set up this tile situation essentially on a separate machine and just kind of let it sit there and do its thing, not through my switcher, just catching tiles from one meeting, sending it into another meeting on the same machine. And I don't need SuperSource. I just want the full tiles display.
Well, then I would do NDI. Which is one of your choices, right?
And it's no problem to send NDI and then catch it on the same machine. That's not an issue.
I do that on a different machine all the time with
Okay.
Limo Live and Zoom. And Zoom
Can I ask a
IQ.
related? Can I ask you a related question, Muddy? Because you started this conversation by asking, or by saying, you're pretty confident that this new machine that you have will handle that size of a meeting. Could you run into a problem running both native Zoom and Zoom tiles on the same machine?
That's a
And as
different
a
problem.
right, and as a follow-up to that, is this new machine on Tahoe? Because technically Zoom tiles does not support Tahoe yet.
That's the newest OS. I don't know. It's still in the box. I just bought it at Best Buy. So,
So just be aware that they have not officially supported Tahoe yet, and I get lots and lots of crashes on tiles on Tahoe.
oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I won't update if it's not updated. If it's already on Tahoe, Mac doesn't make it easy to go back.
No.
Versions.
Yeah.
Money, here's another thought too. Again, so the workflow of having NDI to NDI within the machine, there might be some sort, again, I'm going to throw my ignorance of Mac in here that I don't know. In the OBS world, you could always use virtual camera, right? Bring it in as a virtual camera. But what I'm thinking is there must be, and again, I don't know enough about Macs, so again, throwing my ignorance in there, but there should be a way that if Tiles is making a video output, and I'll use that loosely, because what you're looking for is basically a virtual output to be siphoned into, and this is thus the siphon word, siphoned into
I got it.
the Zoom as a virtual camera, right? As a camera input.
Not even siphon. But you inspired me, because the other thought I had is one of the relatively new output options for tiles is HDMI, right? So you can just send it straight to a screen. And my initial thought was one of the options would be to throw that full screen on a 1080p monitor and then just use OBS or another software, screen scrape that, capture it, and send that in. However, why don't I just send it through a capture card? Send it out HDMI, catch it with a capture card. Now it's a webcam feed, and I don't even need OBS running at all. I'll still just have tiles running and Zoom running. And to answer your question, I don't think that's a problem at all. The liminal apps will run in parallel with vanilla Zoom apps. Like, it's not a problem to run both. Just
correct.
I'm not sure from a resource standpoint, but
that was my question.
I don't think it's a big deal this machine should be so freaking powerful for what I'm asking it to do.
Yeah, Muddy, what we were talking about with Hasmuk actually has an event this week, and he was talking to us about tiles, and what, again, his workflow is to take the tiles machine, output the HDMI using display, and then bring it into his ATEM 2ME, and then now you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, because if I send it out via HDMI, I can,
or back to another Mac Mini that is connected.
I can also bring that into the ATEM and send, the output of the ATEM into a capture card or whatever. But now I've got it in the production feed. I can send it wherever I want to.
Right.
Brilliant.
That would be my suggestion. Again, especially if you're going to do like local confidence monitors, or if you want to be on projectors. I don't know what type of event this is, if it's totally virtual or not. But if it's a hybrid, then yeah, you've got the flexibility of it being on confidence spotters, it being in the room when you want it,
Yeah, this is
projectors
fantastic.
or LED walls or whatever. But once you've got it out of tiles into whatever your main gear is, and should that be an ATEM or whatever video switcher gear you're using, it's its own input, right?
Yeah,
Then
it's
you do
easy
with
at
it
that
as
point.
is.
I was thinking about HDMI onto a screen and then capturing that screen, but once it goes out HDMI, just bring that into the
Yep.
production system.
Yeah, and
Okay.
even then too, you could always cheat if you wanted to on the lower end and just get an HDMI to SDI, and then you got two SDI outputs because it's got a loop through.
Yeah, I mean, I could run it through an HDMI splitter as well if I needed to and get multiple versions of it,
Yep.
just as long as I test it. And the ATEMs I find to be a little picky about what kind of HDMI splitters they like, but
Yeah, it's all about
there's
the
plenty
you
that
have to,
do work. Yeah,
yeah, it's all about the EDID.
that's right. Yeah, and
Yeah.
if it's in source 1 or source 2, and yeah, so yep. Yeah, I've had pretty good luck with the OREI ones. And then ironically, the cheaper the splitter, the better it seems to work. But yeah. Okay. No, this is great.
Yeah, and also too, depending on if you're, again, John brings up a good point too of using RTMP. Again, you could always, if depending on if there's delay tolerance or not, you could always, if you're using Production Studio as a whole nother game in this too, but you could either bring it in as its own client or you could actually bring it as an RTMP into Production Studio if you wanted to.
How do I was asking, like, I had this first conversation with ChatGPT as I was driving, just kind of spitballing some ideas, and I was asking about RTMP or SRT. How do I send that from the ATEM? I was thinking about how do I send that from tiles, but yeah, sure.
Well,
Once I have
if
it in
you-
the production system, I can send it out however I want from there.
Right. But again, if you have an ATEM Mini Pro or the Extreme Pro that has the built-in encoder, it will
Sure.
do either SRT or RTMP, your choice.
That's right. And I don't use because of the buffering issues, I don't use the live stream function of that for other purposes. So yeah, that would be fine. Yeah, it's
Right.
great.
Again, it just depends on how real time you need that tiles feed to go out, right? Again, if you need it real time, then obviously wire, there's nothing can be better than wire.
What's a typical latency through SRT or RTMP?
SRT would be the best. RTMP would be the next worst. RTMP is what we're sending right now from Zoom to YouTube. So there's 30 seconds,
Okay,
give or take.
15, 30 seconds. Yeah, yeah, okay. All right, now the only feature, ultimately, we're talking about how to implement this. If I just step back and say, why am I doing this in the first place? When I have a meeting that has more than a few thousand attendees, but we're using Zoom meetings, not webinars or events, it means I've got multiple audience stages, right? So, and when I have multiple audience stages, the best experience for the audience is to have the speakers in their own speaker stage. So I'm catching the speaker stage, creating it, mixing it in the production system, and then sending that to all of the rooms, right? So they're all of the rooms are getting the same produced feed, super source, whatever. And it's a great experience for the audience. The challenge is the speaker's in their own room, right? So they don't have as much of a connection unless I'm sending back return feeds of the gallery views so they can see and interact with the audience. And the challenge of sending back a gallery view is you see the same 25 people or 49 people unless they're turning cameras on and off. Or unless I'm kind of have someone who's dedicated to making sure the speaker sees different versions of that through the course of the event. And it's not curated. It is whatever Zoom sends as page one of or whatever the page the gallery view is. With tiles, I can now curate a gallery view and I can have that cycle through people and I can favorite, and if I have a tiles operator, all the people whose phone are looking up at the ceiling fan or they're driving or whatever, boop, 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 they're off the list. So now the speaker is really seeing the most engaged people. And even if I'm sending them back a 25 grid, grid of 25, they might see 100 people through the course of an hour because it's going to be switching people out, right? So it's a much better experience. It solves a problem for the speaker in the speaker stage to feel more connected and see more people and see engaged people. However, Tiles doesn't solve one other problem, which is when we have interactivity and the host is saying, raise your hand if you want to share. People raise their hand in the regular gallery view. That'll bring them up into the first position and they'll queue up in the gallery view based on when they raise their hand. So we've trained our speakers to look in that upper corner. That's the first person who raised their hand. That's the person to call on. And then, we pin them and bring them in and whatever, show them to all the rooms. Tiles, it will show the raised hand, but it won't put them in order based on the raised hands. Or if someone is not on the screen when they raise their hand, the speaker doesn't even see it, right? So I'd love to have a toggle that would allow raised hands to essentially queue up in Tiles to kind of lock them into position. So, but anyway, that's a different problem to solve. This is a great problem.
But that's an interesting challenge. I hadn't thought of that before. That the persistence that you have in traditional Zoom, we don't have over in Tiles. It's a really interesting challenge.
Yeah, because now when I go to interactive mode, I essentially have to switch the return feed and send them just the vanilla gallery view so they know who to call on. And then when we're done with interaction, now send them back to Tiles view again so it's more dynamic. So,
John, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Muddy, for helping me. And thank you to you, David, as well, because one of the apps I've been playing with over my dental excursion, which I've had over Christmas, is I've got a little app that monitors the hand raised and then gets the other data about those people. So looks at the registration link to say who they are. And so I've got a little app that does a list of people. And if you click on the person, it will then spotlight them. I mean, it could do anything, but at the moment it adds them to Spotlight. So they join whoever's on the virtual stage. So I've been playing around with participants lists and as you say, picking up the people when they raise their hand. Or if they do another reaction as well, because I've been doing it saying, if you like this, thumb up, if you don't, thumb down, and then you can collect those people in groups as well.
One of the great things about Mukana is having that, the hand raise order feature.
Yes.
Thing. Yeah. Frank, what are you doing?
I don't know if you can see it, but I have some kind of spotlight effect going on. And depending where my hand is, my hair and certain other parts of the picture change intensity. It's very strange.
Yeah. That's the low light setting in Zoom. I've noticed does that.
It might be my Mac's operating system. There's a portrait thing.
Oh, portrait mode. Yeah.
Yeah, that will play games with it.
Hey, Muddy, what is this class that I heard that you're teaching? With Denise, maybe?
Why, thank you for asking. So Denise approached me, and I'm forgetting the name of the organization right now, but there is a organization that does certifications for broadcast, all kinds of AV roles in the broadcast field. And when you get the certification, you then also need continuing ed. And so this organization, global organization, has this huge catalog of courses that you can take to get continuing ed in different things. And through Get Events, they are a recognized Zoom partner trainer. And the interesting thing is when a vendor teaches a course, it's worth 1 credit. When a third party teaches a course, it's worth 2 credits. You're kind of penalized if you're the vendor because you're biased, right? You're what or whatever. And so rather than, and I don't know if this is rather than, but kind of in addition to whatever courses are out there, one of the things that she noticed is a lot of the folks in the AV world, especially in the kind of in-person traditional AV world, really don't have a good understanding of the Zoom for Broadcast tools. And so she talked with the organization and proposed putting together a training course, the level 1 intro to Zoom for Broadcast tools for people in traditional AV roles. And so that's what we're working on. And so it'll go through Tiles, Zoom OSC, Zoom ISO, graphics toolkit, and kind of talk through how these work in a virtual setting, in a hybrid setting, what use they have in an in-person setting, and really lay the groundwork to understand how these apps could work in a traditional AV environment. And then looking forward, we'll then have opportunities to kind of go deeper, have a level 200 course that's a deeper dive into all the nuts and bolts, because as you know, a lot of these tools can do a lot of things. And so the level 1 course is really just kind of understanding the landscape, understanding the use cases, and how these are useful tools for different AV environments.
Yeah. So the organization that she's working with, that Muddy isn't remembering right now, is called Avixia. The certification is for CTS credits. And if you're familiar with Infocom, Avixia is the team that actually puts on Infocom trade shows.
That's
that
right.
David was mentioning earlier. That confusing
Big
that between
organization.
CTS. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Avixia is more known in the pro AV installation marketplace.
Mm.
So for them, they are not necessarily NAB people. They are more Avixia people. So this is where Muddy's going to do his best to, with Denise, bring the installers that are used to making Zoom rooms, boardrooms, and actually Zoom theaters in corporate locations, and turning and actually teaching them the proper Zoom broadcast related stuff.
That's great, and that does bring that back up to top of mind. That is a very important framework, because actually that was the other piece I was forgetting when I introduced this. Is the same thing goes that installers really aren't leveraging the full power that is there, right? And when they're even in campus-wide installations, they're not always aware of how these systems can be working together. So yeah, thanks, Mike. Appreciate that.
Yeah, no issues. Yeah, again, I'm very familiar. Again, my day job, we do sell brands that are related to the Avixia industry. So absolutely. Yeah. So, but they are different animals. So Muddy, be gentle is my official answer. Because they are expecting handholding would be my answer to that. So they are different than broadcast people or people that are used to doing studio work. They will have no problem making a studio for somebody, and potentially giving you the gear, but don't tell them to teach you how to use the gear. Right. So that's where a lot of their stop knowledge comes into play, and a lot of their knowledge for the CTS certification is done through manuals and books. So there is a lot of book skills that they do have, very little practical skills.
Great. And being gentle with them. I have a feeling that's one of the reasons why Denise thought of me for helping with the training. So
So I just, if anyone's interested in that training, if you go to our Discord in the Zoom events channel, there's a link to sign up for that. And I'm trying to put it in the chat, and for some reason it's not going. But
and
I
be
will put
aware
it,
that course does have a cost. I think it's priced at $147 right now, which
it is. Yep.
Yep.
So I put that in the Zoom chat.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Fantastic.
And our first class is coming up in February, and we've got a handful of registrations already, and should be great.
Just a quick follow-up to what we were talking about with Hasmuk earlier. Turns out that my my PPA license had also expired, but I was still able to use all the liminal stuff.
Now, Andy did mention that
There's a grace
there is a bit
period.
of a grace period. So,
Right.
Mr. Paskin, you have been graced.
Yeah. So I already purchased it again. They really should like send something to you saying, "Hey, I mean, I put it on my calendar now." So, but like, they're missing out on money by not reminding us to re-up our subscription.
Again,
They
the
don't.
auto. Yeah, go ahead, John.
But they don't exist anymore.
What do you
So
mean
this
they
is
don't
now,
exist anymore?
well, liminal does no longer exists.
No. I mean,
So
this
so,
is through Zoom.
Zoom need to get this. I mean, Zoom need to get this right for all their.
No, but this is
For all their
what
products.
expired is not a liminal thing. It's a Zoom Webinar Pro PPA license. That's what I bought 1 year ago on December 23rd, and it just expired, and I got no notification because it's a PPA license.
Yeah.
And Zoom lost out on. I mean, they didn't lose out because I just redid it. But
Right,
by the
but
way,
I
hi,
believe,
Pete.
yeah. Hey, Pete. Yeah, but I believe again in Zoom. To be fair to Zoom, their official, what you ended up buying was, again, it was the 100 PPA,
Yeah.
David, which is now
It's 50
Hasmark
seats.
is 50 now. Yeah.
No, it's 50. It's 50 seats. Yeah. It's $100 at 50 USD.
What this
Okay.
reminds me of is the problem what happens if you forget to pay your web DNS fee again, which lots of customers have that problem. Lots of
And there is a grace period too for that too.
But when it breaks, when it shuts down good.
Oh yeah, you're gone. You're gone off the internet. How quickly? Like that. So never forget to renew your domain names. Absolutely, Pete.
Yeah, but I get reminded
Depending on the service you have. Correct.
And
Well.
For big companies, the problem is does the reminder go to the right person anymore?
AKA the accounting department.
Right.
You went to the tech and the tech went, yeah, okay, yeah, I know it needs renewed. Yeah, okay, I'll eventually send it up to accounting. Oops, there it is.
Yeah.
Or it was.
I will tell you a time in 1997 when IBM lost its domain for 6 hours, which was exciting.
Mm-hmm. It happens, even to the big boys. One of the original big boys on the internet, too, for that matter.
Absolutely.
And they got their domain name for free back then, too. As long as they had to send all the official license documentation from their lawyer that they are officially IBM and actually own the IBM as the name, they could actually get IBM.com.
And keep in mind, they were one of the original Class A holders.
Mm-hmm.
9 dot and 32 dot.
Yeah. .0.0.0 for everybody else.
Yeah.
Class A's. You ain't getting the Class A, not unless you're going IPv6, you ain't getting the Class A. And even then, I don't even know if they call it Class A on IPv6.
But I was just playing around, David, and I think this is what Osmuth was looking for. I have to work on the size of the center box, but I think that's kind of essentially what he was trying to figure out how to do. Was put a picture inside the tiles.
Put a picture in.
So, in other words, an active camera. I mean, I don't have tiles turned on right now because tiles in its infinite wisdom, I don't have enough things to drive 36 tiles, which is what this matrix is. Right? But if you had 36 or more attendees, it would be rifling through all those tiles on the outside. And that's just
Right.
that's just done with a super source.
But you
Yeah,
had that
so-
before. I'm confused.
It's a hardware solution. Hosmuth was trying to figure out how to do it with his 2ME.
Oh, okay.
And I think I figured it out for him. So I already pinged him and said we'll talk on Sunday.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So basically, you're just using the key, Pete, right?
Well, actually, I'm using what's interesting is what I said is because it comes into the 2ME. In the super source, you can set what they call it the artwork. I don't know why they call it the artwork, but the background of the super source, that's
Right.
the tile. That's what's coming in from the tiles machine, and then I can put anything I want over it.
Oh, so the artwork actually is its own input.
That's right.
Can be its own input
That's right.
instead of
The artwork
instead of
in
the media still.
tiles.
The artwork in the 2ME.
Right. Okay.
Super
Because in
source has-
tiles that you can upload an image there, but that's just a
Oh,
placeholder
and that's
image.
that's what I'm doing is that where am I at here? The super source.
Yeah. So while Pete's looking
Right.
at that, Dave, just to make sure that the difference between the two, and this is good. Both of you guys stay right there, and I'll spotlight this for everybody so everybody sees. There we go. So there we go. So David, you're doing it via software, obviously, and
Yep.
Pete, you're doing it via. This is the ATEM equivalent minus the framing right now because Pete he's doing this quickly on the fly. But so the difference between the two is one, Pete, you're doing what? And David, we already know that yours is all in software, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So there you go. So you can see Pete is changing it live right now where he's getting it within the box there.
Wait,
But
is this a
Pete-
quiz? We're supposed to figure out which one is the real David and which ones are the avatar?
No, these are two different tile layouts, Muddy. If you're watching, considering you asked about tiles.
Yeah, I saw it. I know. I'm just having some fun.
So again, there you are, Pete. So, and then again, too, you can see in David's live where Pete's is a little different. Where David's live, you can actually see where Pete actually coming up in the bottom right there, very conveniently too.
Yeah.
Just tile. So, yeah, okay. So I think we're doing this to Pete. You were going to say a little more about your layout.
Well, it's just all it is I coming out of my Mac, and I'm just using an M4 Mac Mini base model for my tiles machine. It works just fine for that. Going into an Ultra Studio monitor, which gives me SDI out in this case, into my 2ME. And then 2ME has super source. And so I say for the artwork, use the output from the tiles machine as the artwork for the super source. And then till I chose a super source that would put my camera in the center of the screen.
Right. So the difference between the two, which of course between what David's got and you've got, is that everything is in software, and David, you're bringing in tiles via NDI, right? Into
Correct.
Right.
eCam,
Yep.
right? So where the difference is on Pete's side is that he's using a tiles machine into a hardware switcher, and then the hardware switcher is doing the actual taking the tiles feed in artwork. And that again, that's a feature, right? In Blackmagic that they call artwork, where you
Yeah,
have your choice of what input it is, right?
Yeah. You get to choose. You can choose any of the inputs on the ATEM as the source for the artwork.
Right. Which I think was confusing David a little bit because there is artwork terminology in Zoom tiles. David, correct? Is that where you're going with that?
Say that again. There's what?
There's also an artwork feature or in tiles, and that's what was confusing you.
It's not so
Right.
much artwork. It's that you can upload a placeholder image, basically.
Yeah, which is what I've done as well. It's just it's a logo in my
Okay.
case.
Cool.
And it's what I found interesting is what this also gives you, and I'm sure you could do the same thing, is there's a toggle switch in Tiles that says don't show the active speaker. And so if I'm feeding the center picture through Zoom ISO and say, coming into my switcher and say, to that particular input on the switcher, send the active speaker through Zoom ISO, then whomever's talking will be in the center box and the audience will be around him or her.
Right. Right. Very, very cool. And also this comment's coming from Robert in Poland for Muddy, saying, Muddy, if you use the favorites option, then you can make users with hands up favorites and they will stay on the tiles layout. In addition, you will need to switch the hands up graphics in tiles. Did that make sense to you, what Robert's talking about?
Yeah, and that must be relatively new because I don't remember hand raise being an option for favorites in the last time I tried to kind of solve this problem that way. So that's great, Robert. Thank you.
All right. Is that true? Since we've got two guys in tiles right now, is that actually?
I'm looking at it right now, and yeah, require hand raise is one of the toggles.
There you go. So it would favor it, Muddy. Would that be at least half the battle?
I think so. And what I don't remember off the top of my head is whether favorite. So I know I think I can use it in conjunction with another setting that basically keeps favorites on screen, makes them persistent.
Well, there's a toggle. The toggles are require favorites, require hand raise, require spotlight. Right. Those are the three toggles. And then on the editor editor preview, you could say you can star people that you want to favorite. Right.
Yeah, I was aware of that piece, the kind of manually favoriting people. I was not aware of the option to kind of automatically favorite them based on either hand raise or spotlight, which is cool.
Yeah. And John, you sent a screenshot for everybody for Muddy too.
Yeah, I just looked up the documentation.
And there is, so you can actually, from the image I'm seeing, I see show hand raised as a toggle, raised hand placement, top left, center, or top right. And then your property scale relative, and then your hand icon size.
Right.
Perfect. This is the thing I've been asking for. So maybe it's there since I looked last. Fantastic.
Or
Pete, David, confirm you guys are seeing that in the latest version for Muddy?
Yeah.
Man, sure paid off to
Yeah.
be in the kitchen today.
There you go.
This is you mean just what if you want to show the name tags, the hand raise, the reactions, all that stuff, right? Is that what we're talking about?
No,
no,
I don't think so.
On the output tab on the far right hand side.
Yeah.
You'll see toggles for including gallery under this phrase, including galleries, require favorites, require hand raise.
Wait. Include in gallery. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Require favorites, require hand raise, require spotlight. Host and co-host, so you could force all the hosts and co-hosts to be in the gallery. You could say non-video participants. You can force them into the gallery, which I'm not sure why you'd ever do that, but you can. Self-view and active speaker.
hold on a second. Sorry, back up. So including galleries, I've got 4 options: host, co-host, non-video, self, and active speaker.
So I'm on a different version than you, and I will just leave it at that.
And Pete, confirm your version number.
I'm on a different version than you, and I'll just leave it at that.
His is beta. I mean, better.
his is better. Yeah, he has a better copy. How better is it? It's better's got the same muddy better talk to Andy would be my official answer to that
I
question.
was
How's
gonna
that?
say I think I know a guy. Yep.
Yeah. And you know that problem that David was warning you about Tahoe?
Yeah, I'm sure that's fixed at this next one. Yeah.
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 So
As
again,
the-
Muddy, you better talk to Andy.
As
the
the
new-
conversation I had with Tilak, I said, you actually, if you go buy a new machine today, you're going to have Tahoe, and rolling back is almost impossible.
Yeah, this new version will drop sometime in January. I have on somewhat good authority.
Yes.
Sometime in January we'll see the full version.
Well, luckily I've got 2 weeks to get some good thorough testing in here and get my versions in place. So
There you go. Folks, I'm going to bid you all farewell and have a lovely, lovely weekend. Mike, take it away.
Thank
I'm
you,
also
sir. Take care.
jumping back in the car. Thanks, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, buddy. Take care. All right. All right. So everyone on YouTube, do let us know in chat if you do have any questions. John's still here. Pete's here. Pete's here. Times 2. That's right. I get to say that twice. 2 Pete's and no 2 Johns today. How about that? Just 1 John. Well, we had 2 Johns before, which was confusing when David was asking a question. So John, and then all of a sudden both of them started to answer. And then of course there was a bit of delay from John at CES. So everybody loved that too. But yeah, in case you missed that, check it out on archive or start earlier, scroll back a bit and you'll be able to see live shots of John live from CES and talking about some of the items that he saw. And we did put a couple of them in chat. More specifically, we were talking about the VR glasses that he was looking at that actually looked really, really good because they were based on eyeglass frames size, and that was pretty cool. Mr. Drinkwater is contemplating that instead of having 4 teleprompters. So yes, that will be interesting to see if that would be a Drinkwater investment coming soon. And John and Robert, if Muddy's still there. Okay. If not, Muddy, if you're catching this on replay, Robert just added to make favorites. Yeah. You have to make favorites manually. It is a manual process, not automatic. Correct. And that's within Tiles, which is what Pete is live playing with as I'm speaking, because I can see it out of the corner of my eye here. Ah, cool. Okay. All right. So Muddy, yes. So there's the comment. So double check that with Robert. Yeah, that it's a manual process, not automatic. That to favoritize. Cool. Pete, you brought up an interesting comment about audio, learning more about audio. If you want to talk about that, go for it.
Oh, different Pete. I was going to say, huh?
Yeah, not Pete S, PP instead of PS. There we go.
All right.
How's that? Go, Pete.
Me?
Yes, you, Pete.
Okay.
You're the one
so
that had to ask audio question. Yes.
The question is, let me find it here.
I think it was related
Someone
to.
was talking about certification in Zoom certification in audio broadcast or something to that effect.
Right. And you asked, where would someone go to learn about that, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So there are a couple of different things. And I asked you the question in chat, and I'll let everybody know what I asked Pete, which was what specific technology do you want to learn, right? Because there is the generalization of how to use a analog mixing board or a digital mixing board. Two, do I want to be that specialist that somebody calls me in and all of a sudden I'm a specialist at Dante Audio or Maddie Audio or some other digital format audio that also not only needs to have the understanding of the audio world, but also needs the understanding of the internet IP world, internet protocol world, so networking world. Because again, a lot of the networking nowadays, or a lot of the audio nowadays, is becoming IP based. So going away are a lot of analog audio snakes for analog mixing boards. And what is becoming more and more prevalent is getting that to, as soon as it's analog to digital conversion, getting it on IP and then bringing it to wherever, right? So that would be more of a question for you, Pete, is that what do you want to specifically learn? Because there is, if you do join Avixia and get your RTS, I try to remember the acronym, and we're going to remember that here momentarily, but there is certifications that you can get done through Avixia, the Avixia organization, which will it will get you into the world of more installation audio. So if you're installing audio permanently more at a location, they do dabble into broadcast audio, but not as much as you were hearing Muddy talk about. And that's why Muddy and Denise are joining together with Avixia to bring more of the broadcast world to Avixia people that have to keep up their certification numbers every year because they need X amount of points per year to keep up their certification to be certified Avixia, and they have different levels as well. I won't get into that, but it really depends on your goal of audio can be quite a lot to learn, and there's a lot of different specialities that you could actually run into. So that would definitely be a question of what do you want to specialize in? Is it live audio, studio audio? They all have similarities, but there are differences as well. Oh, and Giles, welcome. Happy New Year, Giles. Seeing you in YouTube. Glad to see you. Any questions from YouTube as of yet? Let me know in chat while we wait for Pete's thoughts on what he wants to learn audio-wise.
Pretty much anything.
Pretty much anything. Yeah. Well, let me start off this way and let's go very generalized. What have you used in audio? Well, I won't say in audio gear because that's not fair because I know you DJ. So as far as DJing, now taking it from the DJ world to the audio live world is different, right? So if you've been a DJ for a long time, and Pete, I know you are and have been, going to live sound, let's call it live sound reinforcement, because that's really what it is. It's different, right? Because DJing is its own animal and is a lot easier than live sound is. Live sound, there are people that get paid a lot of money because they are really good at what they can do and can walk in as long as they have their gear in front of them, can make a secret sauce that is the best thing in the world. And it sounds like the band is on the CD in front of your eyes. So it really depends on if you want to learn live sound, the basics of live sound, then there are some ways of learning that through different Avixia would not necessarily be the right way to go. That would be more of if you want to get conferencing type audio into something, or if you're into where again, this is similar to Zoom related stuff. Again, if you had like a Zoom room that you wanted to set up an audio system for a Zoom room implementation in a boardroom, then yes, I would definitely tell you to go to Vixia, because that's where they specialize in teaching you how to get this type of gear to work with a Zoom Rooms installation, or geared to Zoom Rooms. But if you wanted to do like live sound for a band, live sound for corporate work, even, would be probably the next step. Live band is its own animal, because you need to know how to mic things when it comes to all the instruments. So it really depends on where you want to go with audio. But everything is cool. But you need to be realistic and choose where you want to basically start. Because if you want to say that you want to be able to do an orchestra, a 30-piece orchestra, and you want to be able to record them tomorrow, I'm not going to tell you how to get there. It ain't going to be fast. You're not going to get there quickly. It takes years to understand all the different techniques and such for that. Oh, and everybody's being quiet on me. Okay. Pete, any thoughts to my comments?
Some corporate, and which I've done before, and broadcast actually is what I'm interested in.
Okay. So in the regards of corporate, again, it would depend on the gear that you would want to use. As a DJ, I know that, you have specific gear that you are used to, and this is where you sort of have to basically choose. Okay, I'm going to be the best at this X, in the regards of a DJ mixer. You want to make sure that you have the full skills of that DJ mixer, so it won't let you down in a DJ situation. Same thing with live sound. You're best to specialize yourself with a manufacturer that will be the best for your events and for the majority of the events that you want to be able to handle. And again, the more flexibility in the model that you choose will allow you to be able to scale, because once you understand that manufacturer's channel strip, you'll understand 48 of them, right? So it comes down to the manufacturer that you want to specialize yourself in. That would be my suggestion. Choosing between the expensive guys, of course, of the concerts are all Digico, or you can go all the way down to an Allen and Heath, or you can go to a Mackie, or you could go to a Yamaha, or you could go to, there's other different major manufacturers. But that would be the next step, is that, okay, I want to learn on X gear, and I would just choose a manufacturer that does have multiple lines, so that it allows you to be able to scale between each line from a basic 16 channel all the way up to a 48 channel. Frank, come on in, give your comments.
Sure. So I read an interesting article last week about touring music production, bands and concerts and stuff, but mostly about the technicians, the roadies, the people who make the show happen behind the scenes. And the thrust of the article was that the industry is aging out. All the people who've been doing it for a long time really took a beating during COVID, found other employment, don't necessarily want to go back to touring. And the people who are still doing it, who have years and years of experience, are starting to get to that age where they're going to be done working soon. And there isn't a lot of uptake by the younger folks, or the lifestyle isn't sustainable because the industry is not compensating them well enough to stay in the industry without having part-time gigs and side hustles. So, if you're interested in that sort of thing, might be an area to pursue, but you may not want to do it either. It's a difficult job. I've been offered that job a few times. Go out on the road for 6 months at a time, maybe fly home once every 3 months, see your family. It's not for everybody.
Yeah, and all fair comments, Frank. All fair comments, and exactly right. That is where the industry is right now. And again, with the big push that I'm starting to see within the last 6 months, is that the artists are doing more and more of a push to perform live. because they know that that's where the money is now. They always know that it's always been there.
Yeah,
But
the
they
streaming
were
services
also-
don't pay them anything for their streams, so the only way they can really make money is merch and performing.
Correct. So selling the merch and selling their music locally is how majority of bands now are actually, and of course tickets, to is that's how they're sustaining their livelihood. And of course, depending on how many roadies, and which is basically what Frank is talking about, how many roadies that these bands will actually have with them. Of course, everybody needs to get paid, and everybody needs to have a hotel room, unless they're all on the bus all the time, right? So, and again, the bus has to be paid for too. So I've seen, from small bands all the way up to large bands, and again, even the Taylor Swift one, which was disgustingly big, the amount of tractor trailers that she brought into Toronto just for her residency of that week in Toronto. I remember it was like 20, if not 30 trucks
Yeah, it's crazy.
here. Never mind the amount of roadies and technicians and musicians and dancers. And so
I think the big thing that's changed in the audio industry since I started is it went from analog to digital, but now it's going all IP. Like you really have to at least have a pretty good basic understanding of networking. Everything's networked now, right? And even the way you transmit your audio, it's probably not going to be over XLR or copper wires. It's going to be over, fiber or whatever. But it'll be IP based. So routers, networks, VLANs, all that stuff, right? Like if you really want to do anything bigger than like maybe a 100-seat restaurant venue type thing, you really have to understand it because it's not analog anymore.
yeah, again, a lot of it, again, Pete, this is going back to the manufacturer, of course, learning their digital snake versus analog snake. Big difference, because a lot of the brain is actually in the digital snake more than the actual mixer itself. The mixer itself can be only as smart as the digital snake is. So there's a lot of different caveats, and there again, there's all the different technologies too, which of course Dante is one of the biggest ones in the audio, especially for the larger events. Dante audio would be one of the bigger ones that is used just to get routing properly done between front of house mixing to monitor mixing people to, and again, there are people that specialize in just being monitor mixing techs as well. So if you wanted to just get into the monitor mixing world, that's one thing, or you're in the front of house world, that's another thing. So again, Dante does offer in their Dante University for you to learn online audio, but again, that's Dante audio. They're not specific to audio mixers or any of that gear. But again, if that equipment has Dante capabilities, then at least you're familiar enough with the Dante backend that it would now just be a matter of choosing that Allen and Heath, Digico, Yamaha, Mackie brand of audio mixer that you want to choose to specialize in that manufacturer, and then bring that down the chain, because it's audio, as Frank's saying, audio back in the many years ago on the analog world, everything was a cable, but now because of IP being introduced, that is more the skill set that is lacking in the industry.
For installation, yeah. But
No,
touring
for portable
shows,
only.
touring shows, they're still running. It may be IP based, but they're running cables that from front of house to the.
Oh, sure, but I mean,
Yeah,
everything
they're
around the
Ethercon.
mixer, all the effects, all that
Oh
stuff.
yeah. That's a given. That's a given.
Yeah. Pete, what they're running is, yes, there will always be a physical cable. But
No, I
they're
wouldn't say
running-
that. I wouldn't say there will always be. I don't know what the future holds.
Yeah, no, okay.
15,
Yeah,
20
no,
years
that's
from
fair.
now, they may not run copper. They might run, who knows?
Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever.
that's true. But right
they
now,
come up with
majority of
metal.
majority of the snakes right now that are currently being sold are using Ethernet, but it's Ethercon with the protection on it that looks like an XLR connector. but that is majority of, and again, they'll usually run two because they want to make sure that if one of the cables dies, obviously they want the mixer to be able to talk to the snake. As I said, the mixer is really becomes to a point, a MIDI device on steroids, where it's basically the snake is the brain child, where all the actual XLRs actually plug in on stage, for the most part, depending on the manufacturer, of course.
I feel like we ran out of Zoom topics. It's just an open hour at this point. Open mic with Mike.
Open mic with Mike, and we're talking about mics. Yeah. And Alan and Heath mics. It could be Alan and Heath. Digico. Again, see, the other scenario too is that, again, we're still talking about live music and such too. Again, depending on the venue and depending on, and Pete, you've worked with IATSE before. Again, there will be stuff that certain bands will say, no, my audio guy that travels with me, I'm not bringing the gear, but I need it to be a Digico board that is this and this firmware version, and I need this IP gear, and I need this snake on stage, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right. So it depends on where in the spectrum you want to be. If you want to be the person doing live sound for bands or doing live sound running front of house, then even learning on an analog system would be a good test. Then migrating yourself, that's sort of old school learning on an analog system, but perfecting the analog channel strip would be important in the beginning, because then the next would be learning effects and such, reverb, delay, echo, gating, all that stuff per channel, and then choosing a manufacturer and sticking with that manufacturer at that particular point. Because as soon as you move from one manufacturer to the other, things might not necessarily be there, or they might be in a different spot, and you'll be taking that much extra time to look for it.
I think it's regional too, like if you're in a certain city, some cities like certain boards, and a lot of younger guys, they'll learn 2 or 3 of the main boards that are popular in their region, because then you can freelance here, you can freelance there. It's kind of like knowing 2 or 3 switchers or 2 or 3 cameras or whatever. That gives you more opportunities to work. If you limit yourself to one mixing board, you better become an expert, and it better be kind of a high-end board if you're just going to be stubborn and say that's the only board I want to know. But I think the principles of mixing would serve you well as a basis to learn any board. Like learn the fundamentals of audio production, and then those will serve you well no matter what board you go to. But I think if you can be stubborn enough to just be on one board, you better be like a high-end guy, because you're not going to work as often, right? So I don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you should figure out what's popular in your region and maybe learn a couple, then you'll get more gigs, right?
Yeah, and again, it depends on I've seen different scenarios too, where I know that one of our dealers travels with a band, and he will bring his own mixer,
Sure.
but he ties himself right into the in-house mixer as its own, dual XLR coming out, and then he ends up putting his own snake on stage. So again, it's a hodgepodge of different scenarios.
There's so many different scenarios too. Like there's a difference between touring and being a house DJ or mixer or whatever too, right? Like,
yeah.
Then, if you're doing the same board every weekend for every band that comes through, hopefully you become very proficient at that board because you're using it basically exclusively or all the time. But if you're a touring audio person, then you probably have to figure out, what's this venue got that I can tie into? It's a whole different situation, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I do know with the digital snakes now, or digital boards and such like that too. If you're doing it with bands, you could actually have per song the way that you perfect it in testing / rehearsals, then you'll perfect the actual song to at least a base setting of what you need turned up for that song. Then you could actually tweak it at the actual venue.
Yeah, I know very little about music mixing. I've done lots of corporate audio and lots of broadcast audio, but mixing music is a whole different beast. That's for people who know about that stuff.
Yeah. So it's up to you, Pete. What direction you want to go
with me. I've done broadcast audio for radio and TV, and corporate or trade show audio.
Yeah.
So
But I mean, I think a good audio mixer for music kind of has to have a musical aptitude as well. Like, oh, that sounds a little flat, or that's not a B, or I don't know. I can't do that. Like, it'd be good if you were a musician and at the same time as being an audio mixer if you're going to do music, right?
It doesn't hurt. I'm nodding. Yeah, it doesn't hurt. All right. YouTube,
I
you're definitely
have a
watching.
tin ear, as they say.
Yeah. YouTube, you're definitely watching us and listening to us. So if you do have any questions for us, audio related, we're talking about audio right now. If you want to talk about audio, if not, give us Zoom related, Zoom questions, Zoom events related. Let us know in YouTube chat.
I had to break away to do Zoom support.
Not a boy.
Oh, it didn't go well.
It didn't go well. Uh-oh. Can you share, or is that as far as you can go?
The user is having difficulty screen sharing. I logged into the server, and there are 5 revisions behind the current version of Zoom. They're on, what is it, 6.7 now? They're on 6.2. Yeah. And I suggested that they should uninstall and reinstall Zoom and try to get to a current version. That might be the starting point and maybe the easiest way to progress. And they're afraid of technology, and they don't want to uninstall and reinstall. And they want me to do it, and I'm like, I'm not in the same location as you, and I'm not going to remote into your personal equipment and be liable for any future problems you have with your hardware, because people like to blame you 6 months down the road if you touch their personal stuff. So I said, do you have a friend or a relative? Crickets. I said, do you have another computer? Crickets. At that point, I started running out of options, but we'll figure it out next week. But they refuse to come to the central headquarters. They want to remain remote. So, I mean, I don't know. What do you do then, right? I sent them all the instructions from the Zoom support site. It's very easy to uninstall an application on Windows, and it's very easy to download and install Zoom, I think, personally, like even for a person with moderate computer skills, but no dice. So
yeah, and Frank, it's not a corporate version of Zoom, right? Meaning that you're not locking them down.
No, it's just, but
it's
tech fear. It was tech fear. You know, some people are just, they can be the most intelligent people in the world, and as soon as you say something about a computer, they're like, I don't know how to do that. I'm no good with technology, and they won't even attempt. Like, even, they just won't. There's 4 things you have to do. It's all pretty clear. They just take little bites, do one step at a time. They won't even open. It's like being afraid of the dentist or something, right?
Right. And I'm just trying to remember, and it's coming to me that there should be a way to upgrade via the account, right?
No, I can't push an update to someone's personal hardware.
Right. That was the reason I asked the question, if you guys were actually controlling the versions or not. And
we can push MSI updates over the network to corporate machines if they're turned on and plugged into the network, but that's not the same as your personal hardware.
Right.
And I also don't personally. I have a personal policy. Like, if you try to hand me your hardware and it's your personal hardware, I'm not touching it, because I've had too many people over the years come up to me and, 7, 8, 9 months later say, my computer stopped working this weekend. You touched it. Yeah. Well, what happened in the last 7 months?
You touched it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're responsible for that hardware for the rest of its lifespan, and I'm not willing to take that on.
Yeah. Very fair. Very fair. YouTube, let us know how many people have been running into that situation. Let us know in chat. You know it. If you're not,
and really, I don't think it's like, in our culture at least, it's not my responsibility to fix your personal equipment. I can give you advice. You can choose to accept my advice or ignore my advice. If you proceed with my advice, the caveat is that you're doing it under your own risks, and that you've decided that you trust me enough to listen. But I could be wrong. But I usually give pretty moderate advice that's backed up by documentation.
And Zoom saying it's okay. It's gentle. Yeah.
It's just the life of tech support, right? Like, that's how it is sometimes. People people won't take responsibility for their own issues. Like, how many viruses is on this machine? I'm not taking responsibility for
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Or malware, you know.
Exactly. Exactly. Mr. Drinkwater, you've been very quiet, sir, but yet more vocal. This side or this side? Both sides. Ah,
I like your backdrop.
Thanks. I'll send it to you.
Crate it up. I want the fern. Send me the fern.
send me the fern. That is a pull up. It looks like, is that a potential pull up there, Mr. Drinkwater? Or is that a green screen and you're doing some funky chicken on it?
No, it's just a virtual.
It's a virtual that looks like a pull-up screen. It's just a green screen that's foldable. That's roll-upable, whatever the word is.
Roll-upable.
Retractable the rim.
That's right.
For our
Retractable
Canadian
screen.
friends. No, retractable the rim for our
Yes.
Canadian friends.
Please don't say retractable. You remind me of my dentist appointment.
So is there any good Zoom news going on? I haven't seen too much lately. I checked all the release notes and I checked some of the forward guidance, and pretty quiet for Zoom meetings, at least right now.
And I noticed that we did go up between Christmas and New Year's, but it was just bug fixes is all.
Yeah, just patching.
Yeah.
I think Andy announced something pretty interesting in one of the forums the other day. I don't quite remember the whole thing though, but it was worth going back to read again when I have some spare time.
Yeah. And so that actually, now that's a bit of a segue for Andy too. So I just wanted to remind our Zoom Test Kitchen community that as you saw today, David forgot and Hasmuth forgot. So remember that as of January, Liminal as a company no longer exists. So you must get Zoom Webinars Plus if you want to use any of the Liminal apps. And
that wasn't the thing I was mentioning, but yeah, that's good advice. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, so as we walked through Hasmuth doing that at the beginning of the show, if you missed that, check it out. And that is the procedure now. You cannot anymore, as of January, as actually even late last year, I believe, they stopped taking payments for any of the Liminal specific apps, as well as if you wanted all the apps. All the apps are now included in Zoom Webinar Plus.
All your base belong to us.
Yeah. So if you are a Liminal user, within the next few weeks, you may want to double check your license and double check your PPA license with Zoom Webinars Plus, because don't run into the same situation where Hasmuth saw the pop-up saying that it's been there. And again, David noticed it too, towards the end of the show as well, that his ran out as well. So the PPA, again, it's either 100 or a year, or in this case now or 100. Was it 50? Was it 50 in a year in the beginning too?
For 50 seats. It was 50 seats.
Has it always been 50 seats though?
No, I think they lowered it. I think it used to be 100 minimum.
Yeah, I thought so.
At one point.
Yeah, my brain has always had 100 stuck in my head that we've said it enough.
So they've made it even more accessible because 50 means the price is lower, right?
Yeah. So again, 50, basically you're paying $2 a seat. It's $100 US. Yes,
a good deal.
not in Canada. Yeah. So that will get you access to tiles, to OSC, to ISO, to graphic toolkit when it comes out of beta and now. And that'll get you access to anything Liminal makes in the future as well. So in 2026, should there be another new toy that Andy's contemplating. So again, one last little caveat on this is, again, no more buying on Liminal website. Must buy Zoom Webinars Plus to get Liminal apps going forward. So again, depending on when I don't remember off the top of my head if the licenses are good until the end of January. So I'm remembering something that Andy actually, there was a bit of a overlap into the new year on the Liminal apps if you had bought from him directly on the Liminal website. But yeah, you should definitely get, if you do want access to all the Liminal apps, to make sure you get that Webinars Plus package from PPA, minimum 50 PPA. And you pay the one-time year fee and you'll get Liminal app access.
And now to our sponsors.
Now to our sponsors, Liminal, brought to you by Zoom.
Throw out a commercial.
Yeah. We'll be right back after this. Yeah. And everybody's being quiet on YouTube and just listening to us banter. Okay. Banter we shall. Okay.
Well,
So,
I think I'm
yes,
gonna say
so-
bye.
Oh, you're going to say bye?
Yeah, I have a
And-
friend
and-
visiting from Montreal who's bugging me to hurry up.
I'm
All
going
right.
to say bye to Mike, so I'll catch
All
you
righty.
later.
It's not really
Take care,
a lot
Pete.
of Zoom news to discuss right now, anyways.
No, there's not much
Not
left.
at least in regards to meetings. There's probably stuff in the other product chains, but
Yeah. Yeah. Again, not that nothing Josh related as far as I know, event side, as of yet. John,
I know.
correct?
But they make so many other products, right? Like
Yeah.
customer
Oh, like
management
yeah, like
tools and
yeah, the contact center. Yeah, I have no idea
uh,
the contact center stuff,
all that other stuff.
or Zoom phone for that matter either.
Anyways, have a great week.
Yeah, you too, Frank. Stay away from the canal.
See you, Frank.
Take care, Pete. Mr. Drinkwater. It is I. So are you feeling better? Let everybody know.
Yes, I feel like a guy who's been in a coma. So okay, brother.
Excellent. Excellent. Anything you want to mention before we wrap up for this week on the Zoom Test Kitchen, unless we get any last minute questions from our friends on YouTube? John and I are still here to answer, and we can give you all kinds of different stuff. All righty. We'll just give you another 30 seconds and I will wrap us up for this week. All right. Mr. Drinkwater, anything coming up this week for you? Besides recovering?
Yeah, not sure though. Working on it tomorrow. I should be more awake tomorrow. Gonna get my spreadsheet of 23, which I think has grown. I think it's 28 now. 28 things to got to get that organized now.
Oh
On a new
boy.
schedule.
Excellent. And that he's talking about Lord Zoom Live
Yeah.
on
not sure.
Tuesdays.
Anything particular on Lord Zoom Live you'd like to do next week? I've got a list. We've just got to decide the order. I think it's going to be just, just let's do that one. Let's do that one. I can't see any
Yeah.
pressing reason to have any particular item in any particular place at the moment.
Well, I think I like the topic that I like is that I like the topic called surprise. You always surprise me every Lord Zoom Live. So I think we'll tease that the Zoom Test Kitchen community should come and check out Lord Zoom Live, because you never know what John and I are going to be up to next week. This Tuesday coming. 2 p.m. John, 2 p.m. Eastern, right?
No, it was 3 p.m. Eastern. We might move it back to 4 p.m. Eastern because that will give me a chance then to put another UK show in beforehand.
Okay. So stay tuned, everybody. And of course,
So I think it's going to be 4 p.m. Eastern. Lord Zoom Live on Tuesdays. That gives me the option to put another show in earlier.
Okay. All righty. Cool. All right. On that note, we will wrap it up for this week's edition of Zoom Test Kitchen. Happy New Year from everybody on the Zoom Test Kitchen, and it's time for that's right. Karaoke time.
Welcome to the Zoom Test Kitchen where the magic happens live. Every Friday we're on air testing tech to thrive. From screen share to breakout rooms, we push Zoom to its max. So sit back, relax, and let's see what's in our tech hacks. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. We'll dive into the settings, explore every single tab. Make sure your mic is clear, your camera not a drab. We'll show you how to host like a pro, manage like a king. With Zoom Test Kitchen, you'll be zooming with a zing. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. Whether you're new to Zoom or an expert in disguise, we've got tips and tricks, we'll open up your eyes. From polls to quizzes, we test functionalities. Join us live, see what Zoom does with these. So if your meetings lag or you can't share your screen, or if your audio echoes like you're stuck in between, we've got solutions, we'll show you how it's done. Zoom Test Kitchen, where Zoom fun has begun. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. So tune in, don't miss out on this tech fest we lead. Every Friday, Zoom Test Kitchen, where you'll succeed. We'll make your Zoom meeting smooth, keep the tech in check. In the Zoom Test Kitchen, we've got your back, no wreck. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen, we've got your back, no wreck.
All right. We've got your back, no wreck, Zoom Test Kitchen community. Thanks, everyone, for joining us this week on the Zoom Test Kitchen. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to let YouTube know and to let Zoom know how much you love our content. We are here every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, and check your local listings for your time zone. See everyone next week for another edition of the Zoom Test Kitchen. And everyone have a happy New Year. Take care, YouTube.